Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Apocablog. Day 1477 of thinking. No, nothing to see here. Just move along. So, a bunch of Houston ballots have come up, and oddly enough, they all have the same signature, the same address, different names. But Bill Barr doesn't see any reason to investigate the election. Mathematician Bobby Pitton finds more than 500,000 unique last names in Pennsylvania. Now, this is where you say, what the fuck is a unique last name? We'll explain. So Mr. Pitton, a mathematician who testified in Arizona voter fraud hearing, dropped a bombshell. He's done extraordinary work crunching data. In his testimony, he pointed out blatant voter fraud through incontrovertible evidence. Pitton revealed that this weekend that he examined just over 9 million records in Pennsylvania, and he's identified 521,879 unique last names. In other words, these people have no parents, no siblings, no aunts, uncles, cousins who share that same last name. They're just phantom voters. They're just whatever. 245,033, just under 40% of the total last names in Pennsylvania belong to one and only one person. Mr. Pitton found there were fewer people with common surnames like Smith, Jackson, Johnson. So basically, names that should be there have miraculously disappeared from these voter rolls, these voter counts, rather. 19,591 Williams, 30,830 Johnsons, nowhere to be found. The Williams are missing. 11,656 Jacksons are MIA. When he totals all these missing people up, he gets to essentially 695,000 plus illegal ballots came from Pennsylvania. Well, that's what happens when you have, 500,000 people with no relatives. Just, it's mind-boggling. But, President Trump was ahead by 700,000 votes on election night, and sure enough, they stopped counting ballots because that's what you do in an election. Oh, no, that never happens. And within the next couple days, hundreds of thousands of ballots all appeared for the potted plant. It's... They're not hiding it. They're not trying to hide it because they don't want to hide it. They want us to know, no, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want because fuck you. And that's what's going on. But thankfully, we have a free press here in America, and they stepped up to the plate. Well, in a Washington Post editorial published Wednesday, authors Deborah E. Lipstadt and Norman Eisen argue for the comparison of challenging recent election results with denying that the Nazi Holocaust, the best documented genocide in history, ever occurred. So, thank God they're out there doing their fucking job. The essay titled Denying the Holocaust Threatens Democracy, so does Denying the Election Results, makes several comparisons while suggesting how to combat denial. So, claiming they have learned the hard way to take Holocaust denial seriously. The authors state they have watched with alarm the birth of another powerful disinformation mythology, referring to the false conviction pushed by Trump and his enablers that the recent election was stolen. Disinformation mythology? You mean like the story where Joe Biden, the potted plant who couldn't get 38 people in a fucking driveway, got 80 million plus votes, more than Obama when he won significantly fewer counties? That disinformation mythology? Call it democracy denial, the editorial suggests, noting that a comparison is highly expected. The authors assure readers that it was not made lightly. As students of history, we do not make this comparison lightly, they wrote. The pair also sought to associate President's challenge of election results with racism, of course, claiming that the president and his cohorts are openly targeting strong minority jurisdictions with their false claims. Another comparison to Holocaust denial is presented in the magnitude of falsehoods. Also, like denying the Holocaust, the sheer scale of Trump's electoral falsehoods is staggering, they wrote. Not so much. We have these guys. They assure the reader Trump is not, of course, Adolf Hitler. Oh, well, thank you for that. We really needed you to clear that up for us. They state that both adopted propaganda technique of a big lie before quoting Hitler proof cell, blah, blah. They conclude the essay explaining how the painful comparison can teach us how to fight back against democracy denial, using lessons learned from combating Holocaust denial. Democracy denial is this. After the author, blah, blah, blah. Those lessons include attacking Trump's big lie before it takes further hold, as well as denying purveyors of the big lie, respectable platforms in polite national society. We would not allow a Holocaust denier. Here's the rub, kids. They always get to the point eventually. We would not allow a Holocaust denier to speak on evening news programs or have free reign on social media, the authors write unequivocally. Old and new media alike should no longer give a platform to these dissimulations, starting with Trump's. So, there it is. I'm going to steal your shit. I'm going to steal it in front of you. And if you question it, I'm going to ban you, silence you. You're going to be disappeared, much like the Jacksons, Johnsons, and Williams, or whoever the fuck they were. If you're not angry, you're not paying attention, kids.